Welcome everyone to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here on the Latin Nerds Network. Ready to go over all the shows, films, docs on streaming over the past week, and of course, at the end of the show, let you know what's coming out so you too can create your very own watch list. Now, ready to give our recommendations or non-recommendations, as the case may be. Of course, is co-host Jaime, aka Chewy. Happy Father's Day, as you are a very adequate dad, I'm sure. No, I'm just kidding.
Adequate. Jesus fucking
Kidding,
Christ,
kidding.
dude.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. I hope kids leave you alone. Open your ties. Congrats. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And sit down and watch some of our recommendations because there's stuff to watch this week and tonight specifically, which we'll get to a little bit later on the show. Now we'll begin with the first of two parts. We're doing first quick takes on a lot of the shows we've seen. Kind of give you a yay or nay, and then we'll focus in on our feature section. We have one show to feature, which we all should know what that show should be. That being said, Chewy, let's get to it, man. The first one, King of Collectibles, The Golden Touch, is season 2, a reality show. The Golden Company's is a broker, I guess, collectibles brokers, auctioneer,
Auction
whatever.
house,
Yeah,
yeah.
they collect, sports memorabilia, video games, anything, and with music has any worth value. And they try to, get the people to sell it to them, or at least let them auction it for them so they can get their cut. Kind of focus on them and the team and all that. Kind of entertaining kind of show. Chewy, I think we know what the answer is, but it's just on the watch list.
Eh, meh. I'm just kidding. It's a fun show, man. We don't do too many reality shows on here, but this is definitely one that's well worth your time and investment just for the nostalgia appeal, because obviously they go through different eras, different things. It's not just sports centric. That's how they got their start. And obviously, we had a couple cameos. We had the great one, Joe Montana, pop in. We had Barry Bonds, controversial to say the least, but yeah, he still was a great player first time. Things from Eminem. And also, they had a big set, big, huge video game collection,
Yeah.
ridiculous collection this guy had. Holy cow! What kind of made me wish I kept all my systems in games. But I do have one bone to pick with one of the comments. The current GM at over at Golden Touch. They're preparing for Comic Con, New York Comic Con, if I'm correct. I think this is the first time going to one of these shows, and obviously it's a good forum because they're trying to
Sure.
get into more pop culture stuff, and they do a fair amount of comics and Marvel cards and whatnot. But he made a comment saying to the effect that New York Comic Con is the biggest con in the world. Like, slow your roll, dude. It ain't
Nobody's
San
perfect,
Diego.
bro.
Let's be honest. Let's
Nobody's
be
perfect, dude.
honest, dude. You know, there's Coca Cola and there's RC Cola. All right, that's all I'm
Or Czech
saying.
Cola for those who live near Publix. Um, yeah, yeah.
But
No, it's
it's
a
a
fun
fun
show.
show. It's
Yeah,
a fun
on the
show. It's a
watch
fun
list. Yeah,
watch.
we do a lot of reality, but yeah, it's a fun show. If you're kind of into the sports geek kind of sphere, this is one you should check out. Next one is
Mm.
Brats. This was a docu film focusing on the Brat Pack back in the 80s. For you guys old enough to remember that, and this is kind of a group of young up and coming actors, big stars at the time. I think there was a movement on Hollywood moving away from what they were doing, focusing on the teenagers who go into the films and obviously having to relate to them, get these young actors. Breakfast Club, St. Elmo's Fire, Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles, on and on during that age. And
I love
a lot
John
of John Hughes
Hughes
written stuff, sure.
material. Sure.
And, we had this reporter who had an interview with Emilio Estevez, who is the quote unquote head of the
Mm.
Rat Pack, who lay with them that. And kind of Andrew McCarthy, who is making this documentary, kind of talks about the effects of that. He wrote a book.
He wrote a book.
Yeah,
He wrote a
he,
book,
he
and
did.
then
Yeah,
obviously now
documentary kind of go
with
over
this
how it
documentary.
affected him negatively. He goes around talking about the producers and obviously a lot of the Brad Pack, Demi Moore and Rob Lowe and Emilio Estevez and John Cryer. Of course, Two and a Half Men. You guys are familiar with that show. So very introspective
Yeah.
look into what happened and their take and how it affected them. And growing up, I was not quite an '80s kid, but I saw all these movies. I was a fan of a lot of this stuff, and I didn't really know at the time what this out there really meant on the negative effects that had on their career. So this is nostalgia porn. If you're a child of the '80s, love this stuff, definitely on the watch list. If you're not really familiar, I don't think you're really going to gain out of it. But again, this is meant for that kind of audience. But I enjoyed it on the watch list, Chewy.
No, I mean, very interesting. It's unfortunate that not
Hmm.
all of them wanted to participate, namely, I was going to say Jude Law,
Yeah, and
Judd
Molly Ringwald was
Nelson,
the other notable missing.
and
Yeah,
Molly. I think Molly flat
yeah, she
out
was.
said no
Yeah,
to
they're
him.
trying to get away from that. I think.
Judd Nelson finally reached out. Yes. I mean, trying to get. I mean,
Oh,
it's been 40
agreed.
years, 30 years. I mean, what are you trying to get? What
I
are you
know,
trying to get away
but
from?
they
Exactly.
addressed that, which is cool.
It's only. It's
Yeah,
only for most people. For most people, it's only, this is ancient. So get away from what
move on,
exactly
whatever. But
whatever.
they do
Everyone's
address that,
entitled
and
to
as
do
far as
whatever.
that, they
Uh,
have positive effects too. Just
yeah.
it's all perspective, right? But either way, yeah, yeah,
No. Well, I mean, it was probably an unfair portrayal, or just throwing that out there, because there was a certain connotation with
mm-hmm.
the Rat Pack, right? We had Sammy Davis and Frank
Dean Martin.
Sinatra and
I
Dean
forget the other guy.
Martin, and to a certain extent Jerry Lewis. Yeah. And so, where this reporter coined this phrase, it wasn't necessarily something they had done necessarily, but just something that they, I guess, he wanted to reflect them as this coin something catchy, and and some took it well, some didn't. Obviously, from a career standpoint, I think most have had very good careers. I mean,
Yeah,
Demi Moore, sure. Iniesta, yeah. Johnny Pride, like I said, he was in comedy in Two and a Half Men
yeah,
for 10, 15 years. I mean,
yeah.
that
And
show's on
he's on
forever.
another
It's
show
still in
now. Just came
syndication.
out
So
on CBS. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So like I
yeah.
said, so they have an impact, and they're gonna create. But were they a close group net? It's kind of hard to say when they haven't seen each other for 30 years and
Well,
really
but they
say they're
did say
really.
that it's because of this that they kind of separate themselves, right? Yeah, to kind of get
Probably,
that
yeah. This said, okay,
right,
no, we
the
gotta.
aura, whatever,
Yes.
the stigma being the brat pack. That's just kind of I get it. And Hollywood was doing the same thing. So, but yeah, very interesting. Like I said, I really enjoyed it because again, I'm familiar with this stuff. If you're a cinephile, this is you
Yeah.
have to watch this.
And we know we
Yeah,
know most of those
of
actors. We've
course,
seen their movies
absolutely.
throughout the years. I think we were just probably on the cusp of where those movies were maybe not
Hmm.
really for us. But we still. I mean, like I said, I've seen
Of
Breakfast Club
course.
a number of times, and I know everything about it. Right? And
Yeah,
it's a great movie, man. It's a good family funny
yeah.
movie
It
of
still holds
of
up
its time.
thematically anyway. Um, Next one, we got the
Yeah.
Lazarus Project, season 2 on TNT, dropping its episode on Sundays. I'll be watching the second one later. This was a kind of a time travel kind of show, an organization who goes back to change one big world ending situation. Um, I like season one. I didn't like the main character that much, to be honest with you. I think we obviously did talk about that. This one I like only one episode. It's really good so far. A lot more humor in this one, which I like. Playing the more, I guess it's kind of we'd seen the Groundhog Day before, but they kind of really play a little bit more into it now, and I kind of like that.
Well, but now they're really
Yeah.
stuck in the groundhog, because the event that ended season one, now there's only 3 weeks before it happens. So everything we see
Mm.
is over a 3 week period. So yes, there's definitely a lot more humor
Yeah,
in that
I'm
regard.
enjoying that, and I think that it serves
Uh,
it so well. Yeah, so yeah, it
it's
is.
really
So
good.
I
It's really
recommend
good, man.
both
It's
books. Yeah,
really good. It's definitely taken a
yeah.
turn that I didn't anticipate where this is going now. Where I think that the broad strokes is someone tried to invent
Mm.
the time machine, right? Which was kind of, and then it's caused this whole mess. But I like the characters, like where the story's going. I'm really enjoying like one episode, but I think this is
Yeah,
good going
agree.
forward for
I'm
the
gonna
rest
watch
of
this
the
for
season.
sure. Next one here, we got Presumed Innocent, Apple Plus. It's actually released on Wednesday, not Friday, as I thought it would. Yeah, so I caught it actually on
Was it
Wednesday.
one yet? Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it on there. So, oh, well,
Uh,
there we go. That being said, we got Jake Gyllenhaal. I love Jake Gyllenhaal. He just saw him Roadhouse. He really made that film work. It shouldn't have worked. He plays this is a remake of Harrison Ford's. It was based off a book, but there was a movie of Harrison Ford back in '82, I believe. He's Jake Gyllenhaal's a prosecutor, and yeah, right. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, okay,
exactly. Yeah, I
okay. I
forgot the
remember
movie, but
now.
I know it's there.
Yes.
So he's a
Okay.
prosecutor, and he gets accused of murder of one of his co-worker who he was romantically involved with, which didn't help. And a gruesome murder, and now he's obviously this becomes a kind of a trial, not trial, a courtroom drama, right? It's a thriller. It's essentially enjoyed it. It was
Mhm.
solid. Nothing spectacular, nothing new. I like Gyllenhaal. I like where it's going. I'm interested. 2 episodes in. Chewy.
Yeah, I didn't realize this was a David E. Kelly uh, production, written, directed, whatever, along with J.J. Abrams. So David E. Kelly's a very famous TV producer, showrunner from the 80s and 90s. He's done a lot of shows that we recognize over the years. So he focuses on these police and procedurals, these courtroom dramas. Again, this is right up his alley, what
Yeah,
we've seen
definitely.
before,
So,
and I'm
like I
enjoying
said,
it.
we weekly show, and I guess it is on Wednesdays, not Fridays. I guess I don't know. Maybe that changes. So that's it for the quick takes. Let's get to the focus. Let's get to the meat here. This is the show we've been highly anticipating. One of three shows to talk about shortly, but The Boys dropping its fourth season. Amazon's most popular show. It's probably for me its best show, and season they're dropping 3 episodes, and nothing yet has determined me from that opinion as far as being its best show. Best show, one of my favorite shows. Picking off where we left off, we got Homelander. Speaking of Father's Day, doing his best to become be an adequate dad like Chewie, and falling just a little bit short of adequacy. That's just sad. But we got Butcher, who's at this point got 6 months to live. What's going on with that? Mother's Milk hitting the team now, the boys, and etc. etc. Just skim milk, skim. That's true.
Skin milk, skin milk.
1%. He hasn't been eating as
One
much. I don't
percent,
know
one
why. He's
percent
doing
milk.
good in the
Sorry.
show. But yeah, so listen, this just shows it's so over the top. It's great. Not afraid to really just put it out there, and I mean really put it out there. If you've seen the last three seasons, you know what to expect. Obviously, yeah,
Nothing like
yeah,
a
and
good
it
B
had
train.
one of the greatest cameos of all time with Mister. I wish we
Oh
fuck
my
Will
god.
Ferrell, who's made an appearance on this, but I was really like, at first I'm like, this wasn't the same show. What's going on?
Uh, let we got
Feral
one
Streep,
correction.
of course, of course.
Feral Street,
Just
please.
classic. I mean, just this show just keeps doing, it keeps hitting it for me. It really does. It's funny because I was talking to friends of mine who had seen it early. Given actually the whole season, and they were watching, and I talked about this in Nerd Splaining. But a couple of them, and I heard other people, not that I know other people like inside YouTube, whatever, like they were like offended by the show, and they didn't want to watch anymore. And I'm thinking, okay, hold on
Offended.
a second. So after 3 seasons of this, now you're offended? Like, have we not seen what they've given us over three
I,
years, and now you're offended? I mean, come on.
okay. I mean, what is there? Okay, what did they find offending? The over the top sexual
I don't
nature,
know. Do you,
the gore, or was it
One,
or the
well, one
political
I know I didn't
satire,
get too
which
much
is
detail. The
said
other one
that's
was more
it?
the political stuff. But that being said, but you're right. Either way,
Oh,
is
come on,
they're
man.
both stupid. You should why you be
Come on.
offended from that, right? It's this show holds a mirror to real life, right? What's going on, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's showing you a mirror
Right,
and saying this
and
is what we
yeah,
look like, and
right.
it's
Like it or
as
not,
accurate as
where
can
the
be.
lies here, right?
If you don't like what you see in the mirror,
Right.
then the
That's what I'm
problem
saying.
is with
Listen,
you,
that's how it
not
is.
with
No,
the mirror.
it's a show. If you get offended by the sexual stuff, I get it. But again, it's been 3 years of this. I
And
mean,
maybe the yeah yeah the 3 years of I mean here last year we had he the hero gasm
right, right.
he the gasm with her and the
I
middle
mean,
milk tongue
we've
shot. I
seen
was
it
like,
all on this
Jesus
show, and
Christ.
they keep giving you more. But I mean, whatever. But that's neither here nor
Yes.
there. I mean, I get if you're squeamish, whatever. This is not show's not for you. I get it. I get it.
I mean, obviously there is
Of
a lot of
course.
over the top violence and at some points
Awesome.
grotesque because obviously you're dealing with no, with superheroes and so they're not going to
Oh
punch
no,
you
yeah.
nice
It's talking about head
and make it
smash,
clean, right?
literally
I
head
mean,
smashing,
yeah,
and dismemberments and
head
whatever.
smashing and
Laser eyes and
dismemberment,
ice
yes, the
ice
whole
skating
nine
scene,
yards.
which wow was crazy. This is what the show does, right? And I get if it's not for you, I really do. But if you're not easily offended, you like the comic book genre, or
Yeah.
even not out, and this is it's rare I say go back and watch
Mhm.
everything because it's 3 seasons a lot to catch up on. But this show's
It's
absolutely
that
worth it.
good.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely worth it.
I mean, I went back and rewatched this before this. I
No,
wanted
I'm
to go
waiting till
back and
it
see the
all
whole
ends, and
thing
I'm just
again.
gonna do a full rewatch
Um,
after the fifth and announced
oh,
fifth and
okay.
final season
Yeah.
coming.
I mean, I've heard some of that where yeah the political satire element, the social satire element, is rubbing people the wrong way, and all I can say to that is it's because because you fall into
Right.
one of those two camps, and in one camp you're going to feel offended because you don't want to be portrayed, but this is what you are. I'm sorry, America.
It
Half of you
really is
is that
absolutely. Listen, it's
right there.
like it or not,
It's
and there's
right
this
there. where like the whole conspiracy theory bit, it was hilarious because that is so true. Like the guy walking into the thing
Right.
with the, where the kids.
Yeah.
That actually happened. The whole Pizzagate fiasco. That actually
Yeah.
happened in America. Sorry. You want to
Yeah,
blame
there's an
someone? Blame
oversensitivity
yourself.
these days with that. It really is. With this country's divided, there's no one to blame but the people. It's just, it is what it is, right? You're given an option, you choose one or the
Mhm.
other, and you're just so fixated on one, you don't see the other side and whatever, right? It is, and the show is really playing up to that. And I think it's great. It's cool, right? Because you get to see it in a different way with, Homelander and Starlight kind of being the opposing sides here politically. But yeah, listen,
Mhm.
I love where it's going. I'm so in. I love this show. It sucks. There's only 8 episodes.
Look, I love that. I
Yeah,
love the writing. I love the humor. I mean, like I said, the
of
cameos
course.
is one thing, but there's the way they portray and the lines that they use. The new characters,
Yeah, it's
Sister
great. Yeah,
Sage
she's the
is
smartest woman in
great.
the world and planet. Yeah, yeah.
She's yeah, and it kind of makes you wonder what the hell is she doing, aligning herself
Well,
with
she's really
him.
aligning
But
herself with the
whatever. Maybe
deep.
there's some
You know what
other
I'm
alternate
saying?
movie we don't
Yeah,
see.
buddy. The deep is going deep on stage.
Oh.
Hello. Cheating on his monarch.
Oh. But I mean,
The nerve.
and I mean, yeah, yeah. Not to let you
Apparently,
get off of that
yeah,
one. I'm
the
just
calamari, dude.
no, yeah, yeah, the blooming onion, man.
Thanks. A great
Outback.
thing. Oh, it's really smart.
Yeah, good product placement and stuff. I mean, yeah, like I said, very, very, very conscious of what they're doing and how they're placing things and how. But obviously, these are on both sides. Everyone is a flawed individual, right? It's not just a reflection of what if superheroes were unchecked. Not that unchecked, but what would some of the superheroes really act be? Would they be benevolent, or would it be human? Right? And we see, at least one person say what they would be, right?
Yeah.
It's not all Superman and all good. These are people of power who are taking advantage of that, and they're growing in their
Yeah.
influence and how much power they want to exert. But the people behind them are trying to chase them. Again, one of the drug that Frenchie's is gone over the edge now with drug use and hallucinations. Billy Butcher's dying. Starlight is now we come to find out she was a bitch when she was and was much struggling with how to lead this team and how to accomplish his goals without going down the Billy
Mhm.
Butcher way, which worked,
It's a means to
right?
an end with him at the end of the day, right?
And so
It really is.
yes, 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 yes. I do want to see more Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I
No,
mean,
yeah,
let's,
yeah.
let's
He,
get
I
more.
love
Let's
him.
get
He's
more.
always good.
We need more of
I'm
him.
hoping they're just getting started with him, and I think they are, given where the show's at. But yeah, listen, this show is completely unapologetic, unafraid to just here it is, like it or not, and that's what
And
I love about it.
it
Right?
shouldn't
Exactly.
be.
It doesn't. It's not towing
It
the
shouldn't be.
line. It's not afraid of being called out. It is
I
what
mean,
it
I
is.
mean, the whole fiasco. Yeah, with Fitzy, where he was being called out for the show, be calling someone. People are calling the show woke.
This
I'm like,
show,
what are you talking? So yeah, and he got pissed off about it.
yeah.
He said,
First of all,
don't
this show
fucking
is
watch it
so far from woke.
then.
It's
That's what
not
those
even
are his
funny.
words.
It's
But this is where they use
Well,
woke for everything.
that
You don't like it?
obviously,
Oh, it's woke.
yeah.
It's woke. You
Listen,
don't like it because it's
I
woke.
can see those
And,
complaints and other stuff, and I get it, right or wrong, I get it. Disney mainly, but this is not the show that word is associated with. This is the
this is
antithesis
like,
of
what
woke
are
in a
you
good way.
talking about?
So whatever, to each their own, and that's a weird opinion to have for those who have it. But again, if you're not faint of heart, it's just not, it's a must watch, man. It's great, and I'm glad we got one down, two more to go, and I'm sure those two are gonna be great. Oh, at least I hope so. And that being, oh,
No, no. What is
no, I'm
there's
talking about
only
just
one
the
more
shows
season
this
after this.
month that
Season
were
five's gonna be the
must
last.
watch
So.
coming into this month. We talk about three
Oh,
main
I'm sorry. I'm
shows
sorry. Yes. Okay.
that we were
Yes.
all looking for, big shows, right, in
Yes.
terms of
Absolutely.
quality. This is the one or three, and it hit. So awesome! I can't wait to every Friday. I'm excited about that.
Mm.
Maybe Sunday, depends on when I watch it. Doesn't matter. Either way, that being said, that those are the shows for the week. So this is good stuff. Father's Day. If you haven't seen The Boys, this is a father show. As far as I'm concerned, this is the ultimate father show. It really is. Not for the kids, maybe not for the mom, definitely for the dad. So hope you guys get a chance if you haven't seen it yet.
Well, I mean, there was some gratuitous cock shots in episode 2. I
There
mean,
are like, I mean, maybe this one,
beyond good. I mean, we saw sausage dick last season, and now it's like
oh,
just
there's something
gratuitous
for everybody.
copies of
I see the
copies of
nudity that is
copies.
not
So
exclusive to guys or women.
yeah,
They're showing everybody. So we just
If you're into assholes, we
They
got
got definitely they got it
they
covered.
got you covered.
That being
Enjoy.
said, yeah, awesome show. I can't wait to talk about it more and all that. So let's get to before we get to next week. I want to just real quick, Dark Matter on Apple Plus. I want to kind of give another shout out to. We're just getting really good, and I had a mind. I know, but
Well,
I'm just saying, I had a
it's
mind
within
blowing
it's not
episode.
finished.
It's
There's one
great. We'll
more.
talk about it
Okay.
detailed in a couple weeks, but that's a show I think you guys need to jump on. Uh, yeah,
Oh, that is a
yeah, Dark again.
great
That's
show,
another
man.
great
I
dad show,
thought. I
Dark
mean, like I
Matter,
said,
Apple Plus. I think 6, 7 episodes in.
I mean, this last
It's mind
episode
blowing.
was
Yeah,
was
this
was.
what I
I
said.
mean,
We'll leave it at that.
yeah.
Obviously, this is a show we're definitely going to talk about in a couple weeks when it ends. But yeah, I just want to bring it
Mhm.
up so you guys can watch the show now. That's a really good show to watch. Next week, the big week, starting tonight. Huge Game of Thrones, House of
Mhm.
Dragons, season 2, coming off a successful season
House of the
1.
Dragon.
Excited to talk about this one. So I think dropping only one episode. I say HBO does it, and that's fine. That's all I need.
That's
It's
all
fine.
you need, dude. But it's a longer episode. I think it's 105
Yeah,
minutes long.
exactly. Usually it's
It's
over
a
an
long
hour.
one.
Usually.
But they're tired of that. They're not taking the time. Expect
Expecting
some
Dragons,
some
that's
bad
all I care
things.
about, dude. Even Dragons, and we'll be all okay. That's what I'm saying, dude. We got on Netflix on the 21st. It's a good day between you catch up on The Boys and things like Dark Matter and all that. We got Gangs of Galatia, if I'm saying that right. This is a Spanish show. Galicia. I mean, it's
Galicia,
Galicia,
Galicia. Come on,
Spanish. I'm
dude.
sorry.
Come on, dude.
So this
Yeah,
is one.
there you go. That's
It's a
perfect.
thriller, a
The
thriller
King
kind of
Spanish.
drama of this woman who I guess was a lawyer who left in this small town of Galicia, and she involves herself with the criminal element, if you will. It's interesting. On AMC, this is on. It's actually on Sunday. Sunday's becoming kind of a packed kind of day, which I'm glad there's not much coming out. So I can
Yes, it
spread some of
is.
these out. And that's Orphan Black Echoes, starring Kristen Ritter, of course, from Marvel and Breaking Bad and all that. This was, I guess, a spin-off of
Mhm.
Orphan Black. I never really watched. I know it's very popular. It's very good.
Yeah, this was a spin-off or a continuation of the original Open Flows with which
Mhm.
Tatiana Maslany starred for. I
Okay.
think it was 3 or 4 seasons. And so this is just pick up the story sometime later with now a new character.
Okay.
Like I said, I actually
I heard it's
watched
good.
it,
Yeah.
Orphan Black. I enjoyed it back before it was, yeah, it was good. Yeah, it's interesting. Cloning type show, right? So sci-fi based. So
Yeah.
hopefully this is
We'll
as
see.
good
So
as
that comes
that.
out on the
So fingers
23rd.
crossed.
The following week, we got Apple coming in yet again. We got Land of Women. This was Eva Longoria show, a Spanish English show, I guess. She's a
Mhm.
socialite, and I guess her
Uh-huh.
husband owes a bunch of money that she has to go on the run. Goes over to Spain, where I think where her mother is. Start a new life, but obviously that's not that
I
easy
believe so.
because
Yeah.
she's being sought after. So I don't know. It looks interesting. The wife you liked it. Yeah, Apple Plus, and the wife you
Yeah, it's
liked it, so
Apple
we'll
Plus,
definitely
man.
check that out.
Sometimes they're good, and
Yeah,
sometimes
but
they're
they're
gone
more good
that.
than not, right? They
So we'll
haven't been
see.
as good as they were currently out, but they're still really good. They really are. Next one, here we go. The third, second of this week, the third of the big three, and that's The Bear on Hulu, of course, season 3. I love this show. The show is great. I think a lot of people have
Yes,
heard
yeah.
about it. It's got a lot of notoriety, a lot of awards, all that, all well deserved. Can't wait for this one. I'm gonna eat before because always the show always makes me hungry. But yeah, it's a great show. I guess on Hulu season 3.
You know what? I'm glad we don't see
That's
scallops,
true.
beef Wellington, or
Not there's
risotto.
anything wrong with that. But no, no, I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm
but
just kidding.
we
But
got
it's a
to
really
elevate
good
our
show. And then
palate.
we got on Netflix on the 27th. We got that 90 show season 2, of course, continuation of that 70 show. I wasn't a big fan of this one. I know Chew, you are. You probably watched this. I will probably not. After that, we got on Amazon. Interesting show. Whoops, I had the name. I lost it. We got was it My Lady Jane? There you go. Sorry. This one here is
Mm.
based very loosely for the a true story of the real. I forget her name. Jane. I forget her name. Either way, she was queen of England for like 9 days, and she was killed. Yeah, I think
Oh,
so.
Jane
I forget.
Boleyn.
I had
Uh,
it, but this, yeah,
yeah, yeah. I think she was what was she was married very briefly to, was it
it was
Henry
one of the
VIII?
Henrys. Yeah, he died. He took
If I'm not
over, and then she
mistaken.
got killed.
Okay.
Accused of treason. This show takes that, but then they change the history and they tell you, "Fuck that."
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Alternative
And they just
history.
got
Yeah.
she's alive and survives, and now she, has a chance to get back a crown, whatever the case is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in history she only she only lived like 3 days. I think 3 days she
Yeah,
was
it
queen
was
and
nine
then they
days when I
killed
read
her
it. It
or
was nine
something
days
happened. I
total.
don't know what
Yeah,
it was.
very, very, very short read,
9
but
days.
obviously
Okay,
this
okay,
one's a
yeah. So
complete
yeah.
departure from that, so it's kind of funny, interesting. So we'll see.
Hmm.
And then we got one kind of looking forward to a Supercell on the 27th on Netflix. This one here, yeah, this looks really cool. This was
Finally,
about
finally.
I think five individuals who gain superpowers, all happen to be black individuals in the South. So that looks could be interesting. I'm very curious about this one.
And then so I
I
thought
thought it was
this is
it's
based in
is it
England.
England? Maybe I may have misread it.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think it's
South England. Maybe
South
the South
England.
England. I'm
Yes,
sorry,
yeah, I think
right,
it's
South.
South
Yeah, I
England. This is a
apologize. Yeah,
British show. Yes, yes,
it's a
yes.
British show. Oh,
I'm
this
like
was
the
in the
South. I'm
summer.
like, wait a minute, what this?
It's still the South.
It's a U.S. show.
Yeah, so this looks interesting. Looks cool. The superhero stuff. We're all about that. I don't expect the boys here, obviously.
We love
I just
superheroes,
want to be
man.
better than Madden Web. This is
I have to say, but whoever they got to play back
the back
Noir.
market. That was funny. And then yeah.
So they didn't bait and switch. He is dead, but they brought in someone who went to Godolkin. I'm trying to see who it was. If he was in the previous show,
Yeah,
they
that was
unmasked
good.
him so we can see who it
For
is.
sure. So yeah, so we'll talk about these over the next couple of weeks. Looking forward to all this stuff, and of course, Game of Thrones tonight. Hope you guys enjoy. As always, thank you for watching. Comment, subscribe, like. Happy Father's Day to everybody, and we'll see you guys next Sunday.